Hello and welcome to DataGriff, and today we're going to be installing Spark and Python on our local machine. So we can not only run Spark, we can run the Python equivalent of it using PySpark. So the first thing that we're going to do is go to python.org downloads to install our version of Python, and we're just going to choose 3.9, 3.95 because that's the latest one. So click download. And we're going to scroll to the bottom, and I've got a 64-bit machine, so I'm going to choose Windows Installer 64-bit, and that's recommended, so I'm going to choose that. All the links for this demo will be alongside the video as well. So Python's downloaded, so we're going to click the executable. And what we're going to make sure we tick is add Python 3.9 to path, so that will automatically add it to our environment variables, so we don't have to do it ourselves, and we'll confirm that after installation. So click install now. We say yes. Cool, so setup is successful. I'm going to close that window. And before we continue, we're just going to go into our environment variables. So if you type into your search bar, edit environment variables for your account. And if you go to path, you can actually see there already that the top one is the Python 3.9 script. So we edit that. We can see that during installation it's already automatically added the Python 3.9 environment variables. Click OK, click OK. So that's Python installed. So now what we're going to do is download Java. So again, this link will be in the comments with the video. So if we go to java.com and Windows download, just accept all cookies and click download and install. And you can go to the manual download page, and I'm going to use the Windows Offline 64-bit. I'm going to click that, and again start downloading. Cool. Once Java's downloaded, click the executable, and say yes. I'm just going to click install, and that'll start installing Java. Cool, Java successfully been installed, so we'll close that. What we're going to do, we're going to go into Windows Explorer and just double check it is where we expect it to be. So on our C drive, we're going to go to Program Files, and you can see that Java is there. What we're going to do now, we're going to go into our environment variables, and we're going to select environment variables, and for our system variables we're going to do a new one. I'm going to call it Java_home, and we're going to go back to our C drive location, and where it says, actually next one down, so C, program files Java, and the Java version, we want to copy that path, paste it into the variable value, click OK. So we've added Java home to our system variables. Click OK, click OK. So it's Java done. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to go and get some Spark. So again, links are with the video. Spark.apache.org downloads HTML. And I'm just going to choose the latest Spark release, 3.11. And download Spark 3.11 bin Hadoop tar file. So I'm going to click that. Okay, once on the download page, you're going to be given a list of mirrors, and it suggests the following mirror for this download, so I'm going to choose this top one. This will start downloading. It's going to take a little while, it's quite big, but we'll just let that download. Cool, so that's downloaded. If you right click it and show in folder, you can see there we've got our Spark 3.1 bin Hadoop tar file, and we're going to want to unzip this twice. So we right click and extract here, and right click and extract here again. And I'm going to open that up and copy it all, go to my C drive, create a new folder called Spark, I'm going to paste it in there. Once we've got that in there, what we need to do now is add some environment variables or some system variables. So again, edit system environment variables, go to environment variables, and we're going to do new. And this is going to be Spark home. And we're going to say it's in C Spark, the one that we just created. Click OK. Just make sure that's there. There it is. And then in path, we're going to edit. And we're going to add a new one here. Percentage Spark home bin. Click OK. Again, all of this code and paths are with the video, so just take a look on there. And we click OK. Click OK. Now the next thing we need to do is get our Hadoop Winutils for the correct version of Spark and Hadoop we just installed. So you can see it's Hadoop 2.7. So we can create a new tab. You go to GitHub, see darlint Winutils, and you can see all the different versions of Hadoop. And we know the one we just installed was 2.7. So I'm going to go to 2.7.7 bin because that's the latest one there. And we need the Winutils file. So there it is, Winutils exe. So click that. And I'm going to download. It's a very small file, so that's there pretty much instantly. Right click, show in folder. There it is, Winutils exe. I'm going to right click, copy that, and go to my C drive. Right click, new folder, and call it Hadoop. And create another folder in there called bin. And I'm going to paste the Winutils exe file in there. And yep, you've guessed it, we're going to add another environment variable. So edit system environment variables, go to environment variables, and now we're going to do Hadoop underscore home C:\\Hadoop, where we just placed the file. Click OK. And we're going to go to path, we're going to edit, and we're going to add a new one here as well. And just like the Spark one, it's going to be percentage Hadoop home, percentage bin. Click OK, click OK, and click OK. Now, you should hopefully be able to run Spark from a command prompt after doing all this. So I'm going to right-click command prompt, run as administrator, say yes, and if I just click on the command prompt and I do Spark shell, that's a good sign. You should see the lovely letters Spark pop up in a minute. There we go. So there's Spark version 3.1.1 running, which is what we expected because it's the tar file that we installed. And what I like to do is just do a very simple Spark command. So I'm just going to say val df equals spark, spark.range 010, 010. So I'm going to make a small data frame of integers of 0 to 10. And then I'm going to say df.show. There we go, there's my data frame of my 10 IDs I just created. This is looking good. And just to confirm that the Spark UI is running correctly, I'm going to minimize command prompt, go to my browser and type in http localhost 4040, and that should be the Spark UI. There we go. You can see the jobs that just ran as well. So that's the Spark UI running. Again, this link will be with the video. So that's great. We've got Spark installed on our machine. The next thing we want to do is make sure that we've got PySpark working appropriately. And to do that, we're going to use Visual Studio Code. So hopefully you've got that installed. If not, just go to Google, Visual Studio Code, download it. It's the IDE I tend to use. I'll put a link with the video as well. So I've got a test place workspace. And what I'm going to do is go to View, Terminal, and I'm going to set up a new environment. So go to Terminal, and what I'm going to say is Py-3.9 because that's the version of Python that I installed, and it's going to be a virtual environment called env-test. Press return, and you can see in my folder I've got this new environment created called environment test. Cool. And in this environment, first of all, I need to env, I'm going to activate it. There you go. So I'm in my environment test now, and I want to install PySpark. So pip install PySpark into my environment test. And I've asked things are suspicious, but I'm going to ignore this because we know it's not. Cool, it's happy, so I'm going to close that. And you can see in the terminal, it's collecting PySpark into our test environment. Great, so what we can do now, PySpark is installed. I'm just going to type in PySpark, and we should get the lovely letter Spark again. Excellent, so PySpark is also available to us, so it's going to be spark.version 3.11. So what we'll find is on our sort of default Spark installation from command prompt, you can see that the language is Scala. But what we've got in this Python one is PySpark, so the language will be Python. And all I'm going to do now is quit. And deactivate. So we've successfully installed Python, Java, Spark, Hadoop Winutils, and we've confirmed that Spark works using the command prompt and seen that the default is Scala. And then we've also tested PySpark within an environment in Visual Studio Code. So you're basically now fully set up for a local dev environment for Spark and PySpark along with Python on your local machine. Hope you found that useful. And like I say, all the links to the paths that I used in the video are all alongside it. So just use those. And I hope you found this useful. And I'll see you next time.